Welcome to Ground to Grow class, a class to really anchor down into our bodies. You got my pooches here. Edgar and Victor are going to join us today. I usually do my home yoga practice in the studio, but in the deep of winter, I love to do it in our living room where the fire is. There's nothing more awful than doing yoga when you're cold. And so I love the fire for that. So I'll start cross-legged. And as you see here, I take the flesh off my thighs so I can really get into my sits bones. They say in yoga that the sits bones are the second heels. And I'll root in and I'll literally imagine that my sits bones are like anchoring into the earth's core. And as I do this, I'll just sway forward and back and left and right. My hands are in Gyan Mudra, my index and thumbs touching. Again, this is a mudra that's really known to help us anchor down and harness Gaia, harness the earth and all it has to offer. I take deep breaths in through my nose and out of my nose so I can really radiate heat, but from the inside out as I become conscious of my breath and my body in this space. The focus of this class will be on your feet and on your legs, on really the skeletal body. When we talk about grounding in yoga, everything is down below. So I would recommend that when you breathe, you take this attention in your feet and in your legs, most especially. I'll start with rubbing my hands together and creating more heat. And then I'll take my feet and I'll slap the bottom of my feet and I'll rub them and then I'll slap them to kind of tell them, hello, we'll be focusing on you today. My dogs thought that was really exciting. And just waking up all the nadis there, the energetic pathways underneath my feet. And then I love this oil. It's called Balance from Doterra. It's one of my favorite oil. I'll rub it on my hands. I'll take a big swiff and then I'll also place it underneath my feet. Beware of placing too much oils under your feet because then you don't want to slid on your mat either. But I find this oil is like a scent of tree almost. And in a way, that's what we're becoming. We're allowing ourselves to almost, be like a tree. This is my Ground to Grow class and in finding our roots and the healing energy of the earth. The card that I have with me for the symbol is Marvelous Earthly Mama. And I would recommend that the card faces you for the purpose of the yoga channel. I just have it facing you guys. But the card says, Earth Mama, help me be well, grounded and stable. Earth Mama, channeling radiating heat, rising up from my feet to the top of my head, flowing like a flame through my body. Earth Mama, the mother of us all, nourish my body, mind, and soul. Invite the healing energy of the earth. Welcome Gaia. So I extend my legs out. Another one of my most favorite grounding exercise, extending my legs out. And then walking my hands forward and back so I get into my inner thighs. There's great energetic pathways there in the insides of my legs, so I get to open those straight away. And I connect with my hands. So your hands and feet in yoga, they're literally the portals of your entire body, aliveness and vitality. So I have my hands down on the ground to connect with that. And then I like to take my hands on my thighs and press down. And I really give her don't be afraid to really put pressure down here. So again, the back of my legs are on the ground and I just create even more heat as if there was flowing flames throughout my legs. And I take my spine really nice and long. Then what I like to do is I just hug myself and I look around to just figure out my body in the space. And it's a lot, this class is a lot about safety, yeah? To feel like somebody, almost the breath is holding us and we are safe in our bodies. And then my favorite is the ears. So I had earrings there, but I just massage my ears and then open up all the channels there on the side of my face and then my jaw. And I can like roll my shoulders back and then forward. And again, kind of open that up before I'll go ahead and do some neck rolls. So chin to chest. Breathe in the back of the neck here. There's great release that can happen when you do that. And then I'll start some neck rolls. I'll take my chin to my left shoulder and then just half circles on the other side. And I keep exhaling as I roll my chin down and onto the other side. And I'll keep my torso nice and lifted too, so that the stretch can happen in my neck, but I'm still nice and lifted through my chest. I'll bring my feet together. I'll take my clothes off here, and then I'll do one final or official entering into my ground to grow class, focusing on my legs, on my breath, on my safety, and inviting the healing energy of the earth. So I'll go into a tabletop position. And again, such a great way. Perhaps tabletop is like my favorite way to start a class because it gets me to connect with my hands and my feet straight away as I start the undulations through my spine. And then I just did some little SI stretch to begin before I went into a cat-cow. So my hips to the left, my hips to the right, and then I breathe into the density, the denseness, tightness of the body. And then I'll go ahead with really slow undulations, wavy spine. So I get to figure out what's going on in my body today. And I breathe in with the movements. So movement, breath, movement, breath. I could see on my face that felt really, really good. Continue hearing your breath. And you could say I was just doing some jaw work here as I kind of let go of my jaw. And I did the opposite. So I inhale, I round my spine, and then I exhale, drop my belly, go ha. We'll do it 2 more times. Inhale, round the spine, and exhale, drop the belly, go ha. And one last time, round, 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 round. And exhale, go ha. And back to a neutral spine. I'll extend the left leg out, curl the toes, find the cushions behind that left foot, and rock forward and back. Keep the lift in the torso there. It's really easy to sink in. Extend the leg lift and some heel curls. So we always underestimate those little circles we do with our joints. They're so good for your circulatory system. Extend the right toes back, curl toes, and we'll do the other side now. Kick the right heel up, and we'll do the heel circles on that other side. I try to drop my right heel down and then pull my lower ribs in so there's a fullness in the backside of the body that happens. And I'll go ahead into a puppy pose. So forehead down, sink the heart down. And I could do this just on my fingertips as well. And then breathing into the sides of my body, all the intercostal muscles there. Breathing the back and front and left and right of my heart. And then I'll go into a tabletop position. I curl my toes, hips up high, downward facing dog. And I'll walk it out. I'll get my sit bones way high now. Left heel down, right heel down. Lots of spring to my steps. Chest towards the front of the thighs. And I'll just keep nice and bouncy, and then I'll walk really slowly to the front of the mat, and I'll grab my shoulder bones. I can if I want, or I can just sway left and right. What I do here, I walk my hands towards the left, and I lift my right heel. So walk my hands towards the left, lift my right heel, and I breathe in the backside of my right hip, behind my right hip, and I let go of my head completely. And I'll go on the other side and do the same thing. So I'll lift the left heel, walk my hands on the right side, and kick up. Or lift the left heel, I should say. This feels really good to my low back. all the sitting we do these days in our modern days, all the driving, lots of stress that ends up being on the sides of the back here. And then I'll come back to center. I'll bring my toes together. I'll roll myself up. But be mindful here. I want you to keep pulling the belly button in. Roll, 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 roll. And then roll your shoulders back as you'll find mountain pose. So mountain pose will be our place where we come back a lot in this ground to grow place. And mountain pose is really active as well. Sometimes we think we're like just standing there. Not really. You're really, really active. It's one of the most fundamental hatha poses. So toes together, palms at the chest. And then I'll look at my fingers, eyes are calm. I'll start with the chair pose. Sit way down. Reach your arms way up. Shoulders down. And then I'll spring back up. And then I'll hook my thumbs and I'll go back. So chin high. Roll your shoulders back, and then I'll place my palms back together. I'll come back to center, and I'll reach my arms back up. I'll inhale, big sweep, and I'll grab the left wrist, pull up, and do a side stretch here. So keep focusing on your legs, and I'll press down through the four corners of my feet as I reach on the right side. And I'll inhale back up to center, and I'll grab the other wrist, pull up, and go on the left side. Roll the shoulders back, chin high, lower ribs in, and I'll keep finding a nice opening in that right side body there. And then I'll come back to center, go back to a mini back bend, and then I interlace my fingers, go to the back of my head. I love doing this. I pull my neck a little. I reach back a little bit more, pretend somebody pulling on my elbow bones, and I'll round in. So I'll do like a cat-cow through my chest. And this is something that we will go back to over and over again to kind of counter all that grounding work that we are doing with our legs. It is really, really nice to counter with this more kind of watery movement of, opening the chest, getting right into the heart space, and then rounding and breathing behind to your heart. So we'll go back to that movement as a bit of a theme as well, along with awareness in the legs. And so we'll go here, Tadasana. Every time you go back to Tadasana, go back to your feet, get those roots on board, and then bring your palms back at your chest. And we will go into our first sequence. Toes together, palms at the heart, completely here and present. Reach your arms up, look up, inhale, and then exhale, palms together, straight line all the way down. Inhale, long spine, fingertips up your shin bones. Slow and steady as I reach the right toes back, low lunge. And then I'll magnetize my thighs in. I'll place both hands to the top of my left thighs. Notice my left knee is on top of my left heel. And then I'll keep my left hand on my thigh and I'll reach the right arm up. I just did this little exercise here. I like to see where my pelvic bowl is before I reach the right arm up. And then I can look down depending what my neck wants to do. Feels so good to the side body here, but I keep my hips grounded. I'll reach the right hand back down and then take my hands down and reach back. Hardha Hanuman for a nice half little splits pose, getting right in the hamstrings there. And see how I'm not falling on my body? So I keep that lift through my chest. And then I'll walk my hands forward, do a little kick with my right leg up, kick, kick, kick. And then I'll prop back to inhale to a long spine, exhale to a bow, and then sweep your arms all the way up, look up, a little back bend we've been doing with the hooking of the thighs, and then see I'm going back here with my neck around, inhale open, exhale round. And see what my legs are doing as well. So I expand and then I bend. I expand And then I bend, I round in. And I'll reach my arms way out and go back to Tadasana and find my center back always. Palms back at the chest, toes together. Let's go on to the other side. Reach your arms up, look up, inhale. And exhale, come on down all the way, arms way wide. Inhale, long spine, fingertips up the shin bones. Exhale, plant your fingertips, left toes back, left knee down, both hands on the right thigh. So connect with your feet, magnetize your thighs, and then growth out from the side of the body. So I'm pulling my navel away from the right thigh. I'll keep my right hand on my right thigh. I'll make sure my pelvic bowl is straight here. I'm doing it again on this first time. And then I'll reach the left arm out to get the stretch on this other side. So I'll look down here. On the inhale, I reach up and high. And on the exhale, I find the release and the stretch. And it's there perhaps that I will go deeper. And perhaps not. Perhaps sometimes we just stay where you are. Both hands back on that thigh. And then exhale, sit back, Ardha Hanuman for the hamstring stretch and getting right in the hips at this beginning of class. And the sequence is really fun today in that we're just going to build on what we've learned. And even more fun is that there is no low plank. So I'll kick up with that left heel and then go forward, toes together, long spine, realigning that spine. Sit down deep in the squat, reach our arms up, chair pose Utkatasana, and then spring back up, palms back at the chest. And then coming back to your center. So our tools today are really the attention to your feet, your legs, our earth mama card. So this attention to our bodies, the fact that we are like a tree. And let's go ahead. Reach your arms up, look up, inhale. And we'll go, exhale all the way down nice and wide. Inhale to a long spine, long neck. Exhale, plant your hands, right toes back, right knee down. Same. Bring two hands to the top of the left thigh. Find your length in the spine. And reach the right arm up. So the beauty about doing repetitive movements is that our body's warming up. And plant your fingers down, reach back. Ardha Hanuman. Breathe in the left hamstring, chin high. And walk forward, kick up. And we'll go into warrior two. So plant the back foot and reach. Windmill your arms back. Warrior two. Plant your palms down. Inhale, energize the arms. Exhale, deepen into your lunge. Straighten your front leg. Reach the left arm up, right arm back for a straight leg dancing warrior. And then reach forward for Untitled Chapter. Reach the right arm up as you look up. And the right lung on top of the left here. As you keep your gaze on the middle finger, I get fancy. I place my index and thumbs to touch, but that's not necessary. And then I'll go for the twist, right hand down. My first twist, I always like to bring my left hand on the side of my thigh. And just to get to feel things out, I kick up one more time, and then I come up to the front big seat as I reach my arms up for chair pose. And then reach all the way up. And I will find our little theme. Interlace your fingers and then round in as you exhale. Pull the belly button into the back of the spine. Open up as you inhale. As you exhale, round in. Again, round in. And then on the last one, dropping your hands and come back, and we'll go on to the other side. And in between, a nice Tadasana mountain pose, reverting back to the attention to your legs. Look at your fingers, reach your arms up, look up, inhale, sweep up. Exhale, dive all the way down for your forward fold. Inhale to a long spine, long neck. Exhale, plant your hands, left toes back, left knee down, both hands to the top of the right thigh. Trust your body knows this. We just were here. Reach the left arm up as you find the side stretch on the other side. And look down. And then you lower the left hand down and find your hamstring stretch. And walk your hands forward, plant your hands to the front, and then kick the left leg back as you land it back down into a warrior two. Windmill your arms all the way up. Energize your arms. So inhale, find length in your arms. Look at the middle finger of that right thigh. And then we'll straighten the front leg. Reach the right arm up. So still ignite your thighs here. Get the muscle off the kneecap. A little bind if you want. A little mudra if you want. And then we'll go in the straight leg Trikonasana as I reach my body forward. Windmill my arms and look up. On the other side, still nice core is ignited here as I kind of harness that fire inside. And then I'll find my twist, left hand down. I'll pivot. And I'll take my right lung on top of the left and I'll just create traction without my right hand lifting up. I can do that on my other sets because we'll do a couple more of these. I'll kick up and then I'll find my toes together, big seat, big sweep, and hook. Interlace my fingers and then we'll go back. Round in, doing so, nice cat-cows through your arms. And round in. And open. Continue like this. And finally, we'll bring our arms nice and wide. I love doing this. And then reach our arms alongside the body. Tadasana, mountain pose. Standing here like a mountain. Tall and proud like a tree. Palms at the chest. So same. Inhale, reach your arms up, look up. Exhale, big swan dive all the way down. Inhale, long spine, long neck, fingertips up your shin bones. Plant your fingers, right toes back, right knee down, both hands to the top of the left thigh. So we're going just a bit quicker here. Reach the right arm up, but your body knows this, right? So we're just going back to where it's left off. Your brain knows a bit more what's up. Sit back. Then inhale, reach your body forward, kick up, warrior two as you land, windmill your arms down, exhale to land. So inhale to lift and energize, exhale to land, straighten your front leg, and find the stretch up and back and then forward as you pivot into your straight leg Trikonasana. Right hand down to the inside of the left leg and then reach the left arm up. Should feel good, hopefully. From here, we'll continue. I'll add just a bit more. So travel, make the left knee go at the same line of your left hip. You'll see what I'm doing here. So you might need a bit of time to figure it out. It's so nice for the hip here as you keep that lifting through the inner thighs. And then in the end, Shavasana, side plank as you reach the left hand down. And go for our peak here in downward facing dog. I'll build even more heat here. I'll roll and ride the way forward into a high plank. And then I'll curl my toes back into a downward facing dog. If that's too much for you, just wait for us in a downward dog or in a child's pose. See my neck here as I try not to look down all the time. As I get forward, I look forward. And I can walk slowly to the front of the mat. Inhale, long spine. Exhale to bow. Big sweep. Reach your arms up. And then back at center. Mastitihi. Okay, right away, inhale, reach your arms up. Exhale, dive all the way down. So the full sequence on the other side. Inhale, long spine. Exhale, plant your hands, left toes back, left knee down. Both hands to the top of the right thigh. Keep the right hand there and reach the left arm up as you stretch. And then we'll go ahead into our half splits. Hardha Hanuman, sit down. And then ride the wave of the breath forward, kick up and find warrior two. Windmill your arms all the way up, land as you exhale. Inhale as you energize and straighten the front leg as you reach the right arm up, look up. Inhale, stretch. And then we'll go into straight leg Trikonasana as I keep my feet nice and stable and sturdy. I look up. And I'll set it up for my twist. I'll bend the front knee and take the left hand down, right arm up. And then slowly I will let the right foot travel on the side. Keep my hip nice and lifted as Edgar makes his way to a nice little seat. And then finally into a side plank as I reach my right lung on top. reach. And then I'll find high plank to downward facing dog. And we can go back here to, ride forward and back. You can build more heat this way. As you know, I'm a big fan of these little intermissions where it's almost like a cardio boost, if you will. And get even more blood and vitality and aliveness flowing in your body as we continue on our sequence. Okay, and then from here, we'll do one last little one, and we'll look forward, walk forward. Toes together, and chair pose sit. Reach your arms up, and palms back at center. Tadasana, mountain pose. It's really nice to go back there for our ground to grow all the time. Okay, and toes together, palms at the chest. Reach your arms up, inhale, look up, same. Exhale, dive all the way down, plant your fingers. Inhale, long spine. Exhale, plant your fingers, right toes back, right knee down, both hands to the top of the left thigh. Reach the right arm up. Sit back, Hardha Anuman. Exhale here. Then inhale, ride the breath forward, kick up, and find warrior two as you reach your arms up. Settle here. Straighten your front leg, reach the left arm up. Inhale, stretch. Exhale, land. And we'll go in straight leg Trikonasana. Make it nice and flowy. Reach the right arm up. And then windmill down into a twist. Reach the left arm up. As you squeeze your arms down, and we'll kind of scoot that knee there. And then a big into a side plank. Reach down. Child's pose. A little snippet of these fiery boost. Forward and back. Don't give up. You've got this. And then you can walk forward, and we'll go on to the other side. Inhale, long spine. Exhale to a bow. Sweep your arms up. Inhale, look up. And palms back at your chest. Okay, last side. So reach your arms up, look up, and then dive all the way down. Inhale, long spine. Exhale, plant your fingers, left toes back, left knee down, both hands to the top of the right thigh as you're going to reach the left arm up. And then look down, reach. And then back down, sit back, hamstring stretch. And we'll reach forward and find warrior two. Windmill your arms all the way up, palms face down. Inhale, energize the arms, and we'll go into our beautiful dancing warrior with straight leg. And reach, and we'll go into a straight leg Trikonasana, our last one here, as you reach the arms up. And then for your twist, reach the right arm up now, and we'll get that right knee scoot to find our side plank eventually as you reach the right arm up, and then all the way down, and we'll go into a downward facing dog, knees down, and Sphinx. But first, prostration pose. So reach your arms way up, palms face down. This is a way I just love grounding to grow, is being face down like this, which was taught for me from a teacher named Shiva Ray, which was called prostration pose. So Sphinx, as I said, so forearms down, chin high. This is wonderful for the low back here as I press my hips and pelvis down and find elongation through my spine, a little arc going in my chest. I'll go bend the left knee and grab the left foot behind to get in the quads there. I keep my core going as I pull my belly button in on each exhale and get the awareness of the breath this way. I find when we kind of switch perspective from standing to down, there's something we need to reassess our breath. I'll recalibrate with prostration pose, and then we'll go on the other side. So Sphinx, and then bend the right knee, grab the foot. If you can't grab it, it's no big deal. You could get a strap or not grab it at all and just bend the right knee, and that's perfect. And then bend the right shin down, heel to bum, and then back onto prostration pose. I love here making my back rise and my back fall. So filling in this portion of my body that we don't often notice. Back to downward dog, look forward, walk forward, and I'll sit back down and go into a bridge pose as I lean down. But first, knee circles. So we'll go mandala shaped knee circles again to nice massage of the lower back here. And we'll go one way and then the other. I love doing circles with my joints and just nourishing them with so much blood and oxygen. Sometimes you feel like we're doing nothing, but this couldn't be further from the truth. So hips up, we'll find our bridge here, palms face down. You can interlace your fingers if you'd like. Anchor down through your feet, chin in as you lift your hips, and the chin to the chest here as you bring it back down. So I'll bring my knees in and closer once more, and I'll go for a twist, a final twist. Bring my knees to the left and look to the right. As I settle here into the last of my ground to grow practice. As I exhale, I make my bones really heavy towards the ground. As we've worked really hard, building heat, and I'll bring my hips back to center, and I'll go on the other side. And you can see here, I like to adjust my hips, and my knees are as close to my chest as I can make them to intensify the stretch. A few more breaths here. Breathing in, breathing out. And I'll come back to center. I'll bring my knees back in. And I will prepare for Shavasana. Extend my legs out at least mat width. Yeah, squeeze my bum here. And then I bring my arms alongside the body. The palms face up. And I can take my nice deep belly breaths. I gather my tools as I come in this state of bliss. Some of the tools we had for this Ground to Grow class was the awareness in our feet and in our legs. It was our card as well, the Earth Mama card. It was this breath, taking our breath as a safety and security. And as I lay here, I just enter this gate where everything's safe, where I'm held. A few more moments here. Okay, and slowly I'll bend one knee and then the other. I'll wake up and I'll turn my body on to one side. And then I'll come up to a seat to kind of reconnect. And then bend the knees, take your fingers to the index. And notice how settling the yoga feels in the body. Bring your palms at your chest. Such a delight to be with you. Namaste.